And joining me now, townhall.com political editor Guy Benson, Republican campaign strategist Tony Sayegh, both Fox News contributors. Gentlemen, great to have you here. Guy, let's start with you. This is a race tonight in California that we're told is already decided by AP on the eve of the final primary elections. Your take, what's at stake, who wins?
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and predict Donald Trump is going to win the Republican primary tonight in California.
You went for the easy one right off the bat, didn't you?
Very big of you, Guy.
And here's the I think Hillary will probably win in California. It might be embarrassingly close. She could lose, but it doesn't matter. She's going to be the nominee. She's going to pick up a ton of delegates. Apparently, she's already clinched it because of the super delegates. And as of tonight, officially, the Democratic Party is going to get the nominee that they deserve. Someone who lies habitually, someone who is corrupt to high heaven, and someone whose only apparent guiding principle is the pursuit of power. And look, she's wildly unpopular and distrusted for a reason. That's one of the biggest factors behind the close polling in this race. And I think a lot of Democrats set this thing up for her. They put it on a tee for her. And let's see how that coronation pays off for them.
Tony, a guy says that the Democratic Party is getting what it's deserved. Your thoughts?
Absolutely, and they're also getting the most beatable Democrat if you look at any poll. Bernie Sanders outperforms Donald Trump. Granted, that probably would narrow if the focus was more on Bernie Sanders. Elizabeth Warren would probably beat Donald Trump or any Republican. Joe Biden would have a better chance, yet the Democrats have nominated their most flawed, potentially fatally flawed, depending on what the FBI comes up with, candidate. Yep. And when you really think about the fact that tonight we're going to have 6 contests, Bernie Sanders is likely to win 4 for sure. She's going to win New Jersey for sure. California's too close to call. Yeah. Yet the AP decided in an act of journalistic malpractice the night that no one voted, that after talking to a bunch of political insiders in the Democratic Party, that, oh, Hillary Clinton now has enough delegates and she's actually the de facto candidate. It's never been about the math. She has always had that advantage. It's about the fact that he started a movement that's not going to end regardless of the outcome tonight.
Yeah, and talking about candidates, the Republican Party have got the one that, well, nearly every Republican out there has been talking about if they didn't want, and 5 million more people are voting for the Republican Party this year than in 2012. I mean, than the Democratic Party this year, and it's the most votes since, well, ever for one fellow by the name of Donald J. Trump. Tony, this looks like it's going to be a very close election when they make their pivot, and I think they're making their pivot tonight.
They will be, certainly, Lou. The reality is the Republicans are getting the nominee, the candidate, the people from the party grassroots wanted. The Democrats are getting the candidate that the elites in the establishment wanted. And in a year like this, where there's much advantage to being an outsider, and you know there's so much economic distress that, frankly, voters on both sides are blaming on this established order in Washington, you have to give the advantage on some level, if Donald Trump could remain disciplined enough throughout the general election, to the guy who represents that change, that outsider disruption.
Guy, very quickly, we're running out of time, but I mean, we got today, you got Paul Ryan saying Trump's comments were racist in his judgment. Jeb Bush weighing in for whatever reason today, saying that he should retract his statements. Lindsey Graham saying fellow Republicans should unendorse Trump. Are these people ever going to get over themselves? Well,
I mean, it's not just Trump detractors who've been criticizing him. A lot of Trump's allies, like Newt Gingrich and others, have said it's completely unacceptable what he's done with this judge and these race-baiting attacks.
Guy, but at this point, why are they piling on? This doesn't make any sense.
Because he's making racially charged attacks on a judge in a way that's not appropriate. And you made the point, it's a good point, Lou. So few people have been talking in the last week or so about the Inspector General report about Hillary Clinton, which is damning. If Donald Trump had the discipline to relentlessly pound her on the IG report instead of coming after this judge in this racial way that he did, that would be so much more helpful to his campaign.
You know, the
Instead,
racial thing
we're sitting here talking about that.
I don't want to get into this thing. We don't have time to litigate it, if you will, here tonight. But what I have quoted to you from Sotomayor acknowledges the role of ethnicity and different cultural experiences.
Yeah, and I ripped her for that. I ripped her for that.
Well, you may have ripped her for that. But the fact of the matter is, it is a statement that stands in counterpoint to all of those who are criticizing Donald Trump. And the fact is, there should not be a closure of the public arena, in my opinion, Guy, just because controversy is upon us. We should be talking about these issues, and in my opinion, it's the very essence of what we are as a free republic.
Well, and that's fine, and I'm all for debate.
Fine. I'm sorry?
But I think
I'm
all for open
Let me tell
debate.
you what's not going to be fine, gentlemen. I have to call it here for the debate, and somehow I got the last word. I apologize for that,
No
Guy,
worries,
but I
Lou.
won't retract it. Guy, Benson, Tony Sayegh, thank you very much. You both will be
Thank
back
you, Lou.
with us, and we appreciate you staying with us through the evening.
Thanks.